It is a pleasure to witness another beautiful morning in a new week. Welcome to Carnival Breakfast Show, come to you from Carnival Radio. My name is Joseph Oyukola and this is Newspaper Review. To begin the news this morning, here are the headlines. NLC slams IMF for fuel subsidy removal denial. Army begins enlisting ex-soldiers to bridge manpower shortfall. NDLEA officers nab drug suspect, reject 10 million bribe. Oil sector crisis, step down as minister, Nigerians to Tinubu. Expert OK 25% tax on wealthy Nigerians. Now to the news in details. The Joint Action Committee of the Non-Academic Staff Union of Educational and Associated Institutions and the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities has vowed to indefinitely shut down all activities in universities across the country from Monday today when they embark on an indefinite strike. A statement made available to newsmen on Sunday and signed by National President Sanu Mohammed Ibrahim, General Secretary NASU, Prince Peters Adeyemi, said the ultimatum it gave the federal government over its withheld salaries expired Sunday midnight. The unions are demanding, among others, the payment of the 4-month withheld salaries, improved remuneration and allowances, and implementation of the 2009 agreement with the government. The federal government had, through the Ministry of Labour and Employment, invoked the no work, no pay policy when the 4 university-based unions embarked on a prolonged strike in 2022. Last October, President Bola Tinubu directed the payment of 4 of the 8-month withheld salaries for the academic staff. It was finally paid in February. The directive was silent about the non-teaching staff, raising concerns as to their fate. The unions also described the directive as selective and kicked against it. The unions subsequently wrote to the government, gave ultimatums, protested, and held warning strikes, but their 4-month salaries are still being withheld. The statement called on the state-owned universities to also incorporate their local demands into the strike action as appropriate. It recalled that at the last National Peaceful Protest of JAC of NASU and SANU held July 18, 2024 at Unity Fountain, Abuja, an ultimatum of 10 days was given to the government to pay the withheld salaries to avoid shutting down of activities in the universities and inter-university centers with no consequence. For more details, please visit Punch newspaper. Again, facilities face lockdown as workers begin strike today. In the meantime, there are indications that the Nigerian army may be currently experiencing an acute shortage of manpower due to the high number of those who voluntarily retired. It was gathered that one of the units badly hit by the development was the Mechanical Engineering Corps. The newsmen had reported that over 1,008 soldiers resigned from the Nigerian army in the last 4 years. According to the report, in 2023, the Nigerian army approved the retirement of no fewer than 59 soldiers. Earlier in 2022, a total of 261 soldiers resigned. In 2021, 127 resigned and 365 resigned in 2020. In August this year, 196 soldiers resigned from the army. Reacting to the report, the army spokesperson Major General Onyema Nwachukwu said the service was being conscription. However, to fill the vacancy, it was gathered that the army was planning to re-engage discharged soldiers. In a memo dated October 16, 2024, a copy of which obtained by the newsmen, the Mechanical Corps lamented that huge numbers of soldiers resigned from the unit. A memo signed by Lieutenant Colonel Hay Mohammed urged all commanding officers to reach out to discharge soldiers in the area of responsibility. For more details, please visit Vanguard newspaper. Army begins enlisting ex-soldiers to bridge manpower shortfall. In another interesting news, operatives of the National Drugs Law Enforcement Agency on Sunday said they turned down a 10 million naira bribe offered to free one drug suspect, Solaye Iburujulu, arrested earlier in Lagos. This was as the operatives recovered 26,250,000 pills of tramadol, as well as 508,400 bottles of codeine-based syrup worth 16,683,800,000 in street value were intercepted by the NDLEA cooperatives during 100% joint examination of what-listed containers with men of Nigerian Customs Service and other security agencies of the Tinka Port in Lagos and Port Harcourt Port, One, Rivers State between October 22 and 23. Iburujulu, a 40-year-old man, was arrested at the Agu Palace area of Okota, Lagos, in connection with drugs intercepted by the officials. According to a statement on Sunday by the agency's spokesperson Femi Babafemi, the bribe offered to free the suspect had been added to the exhibit recovered from the suspect. For more details, please visit Punch newspaper. NDLEA officers nab drug suspect, reject 10 million bribe. In the meantime, the Nigerian Labour Congress has criticized the International Monetary Fund for its denial of responsibility regarding the Nigerian government's recent removal of subsidy on petrol. The Congress describes the denial as cynical and emblematic of the IMF and World Bank's long-standing pattern of imposing harsh economic policies on developing nations. In a statement on Sunday, NLC National President Joe Ajaero criticized the IMF for presenting its harmful recommendations as growth strategies, which have led to increased socio-economic hardship and stagnation in Nigeria and other nations that have followed their misguided advice. During a press conference at the IMF and World Bank annual meetings in Washington, D.C., Abebe Salesi, the IMF's African Region Director, criticized the Nigerian government's decision to remove the fuel subsidy as a domestic issue. According to NLC, it is increasingly alarmed by the IMF's denial, which reflect the troubling policies imposed on Nigeria by the IMF and World Bank. Meanwhile, NLC mentioned that the IMF and World Bank's denial of the social cost of their policies raises further concerns. Although the IMF recognizes the significant social cost, it simply suggests that government mitigate this hardship through expanded social protections, an approach that often leaves people dependent on ineffective handouts like the Rice Initiative, the Union stated. For more details, please visit The Nation newspaper. NLC slams IMF for fuel subsidy removal denial. In another development, the persistent crisis in the oil sector is fueling calls on President Bola Tinubu to step aside as the Minister of Petroleum. Newspaper report that despite the sudden removal of fuel subsidy the same day the president assumed office, Nigerians are yet to witness stability in the sector. Tinubu had on Wednesday dashed the expectation of several Nigerians agitating for a rejig in the Petroleum Ministry. Newspaper recalls that in a significant cabinet shake-up during the 19th Federal Executive Council meeting at the State House, Abuja, last Wednesday, President Bola Tinubu approved the removal of 5 ministers believed to be underperforming. Tinubu also reassigned 10 ministers to new portfolios and nominated 7 new ministerial appointees for onward screening and confirmation by the Nigerian Senate. However, prior to the shake-ups, stakeholders and some civil society organizations had called on Tinubu to resign as Petroleum Minister. The president was also asked to remove some big wigs in the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited (NNPC) held to ensure transparency in the oil sector. In August this year, the Port Harcourt refinery, a company under the management of the NNPCL in Rivers State, failed to commence operations after about 6 postponements. This news was sourced from Daily Post newspaper. Oil sector crisis. Step down as minister, says Nigerians to Tinubu. On to the last news for this morning. Financial experts yesterday threw their weight behind federal government proposal to impose 25% personal income tax on Nigerians' wealthiest citizens would reduce inequality and boost the nation's revenue. The experts expressed their views in separate interviews yesterday in Lagos. President, Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria, CITN, Mr. Samuel Agbelaye, commended the proposed tax policy and noted its potential to improve Nigerian economic standing. Agbelaye cited Sweden as an example, where the minimum tax rate of the wealthy is around 45%. He noted that despite this high tax rate, Sweden remains one of the most prosperous countries with a high quality of life. He emphasized that proper implementation of this policy in Nigeria will also raise political awareness among the elites. According to him, this will encourage their participation in the political process and increasing accountability in the use of public funds. Similarly, former president of CITN, Mr. MC Anthony Dike, endorsed the 25% tax proposal, stating that it is fair for those who earn more to contribute more to the nation's commonwealth. This news was sourced from the nation's newspaper. Expert OK 25% tax on wealthy Nigerians. To bring the newspaper review to a close this morning, here is a recap of headlines. NLC slams IMF for fuel subsidy removal denial. Army begins enlisting ex-soldiers to bridge manpower shortfall. NDLEA officers nab drug suspect. Reject 10 million naira bribe. Oil sector crisis step down as minister, says Nigerians to Tinubu. Experts OK 25% tax on wealthy Nigerians. And with that, we've come to the end of newspaper review. Thank you very much for listening. Please, you can do well to download our mobile app from Play Store and App Store. You can also check out our website at www.carnivalmedia.ng. Please do well to enjoy the rest of your day. Today is Monday. Please lay your hands on something profitable, something that will benefit this nation, something that would benefit you as an individual. Please do well to enjoy the rest of the day. Bye.
Carnival Radio.
Of your favorite songs. Right now, right here. The music never stops.
Carnival Radio.
Your non-stop music station.
Enjoyment unlimited.